4C divers, welcome to our Facebook Live. We're excited to have this Facebook Live event with you all. And let me bring on Miss Rachel. She's going to come in. There she is. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, guys. Sorry, having some technical difficulties.
It's fine. It's fine.
All right. Well, so guys, just a couple of things. We always love to hear where you guys are listening in from. So please let us know in the chat feature if you're here in Florida, if you're outside of Florida, and give us either a heart emoji. Sometimes the little hearts come out of my
Some
hand.
love.
No, it's not doing it today. All right. And then we have the smiley face or the thumbs up. Usually the thumbs up. Nope, it's not doing it. Sometimes it does. Anyways, if you guys are listening and you're really enjoying this topic, let us know. And if you have any questions during the presentation, go ahead and type those in the comments and we will answer them either during the presentation or afterwards. And basically, I wanted to first, before we start, tell you a little bit about a promo that we're doing in December, and it lasts until Christmas Eve, so December 24th. So it is if you book one of our 4C travel trips in full, like you pay for it in full, we are going to gift you a $100 gift card to 4C, so you can buy some gear to go on that awesome trip that you just booked.
Woo!
All right. So if you're going to do that, yeah. So if you're going to do that, you're going to want to talk to Miss Rachel over here. She's our travel manager, and she'll get you all set up with that. So anything else, Rachel, you want to add on about travel for 2026?
Well, we have so many amazing trips this year. If this one doesn't entice you enough, we can talk also about some other ones. But a little bit of confusion, like what Nicole was saying, it has to do with not doing the payment plan for the trips, which you can do. It makes it, a little easier to digest instead of just paying in full. But when we mean the $100 gift card, it means you just pay for the whole trip in itself, not just pay off a trip.
Excellent. Thank you for the clarification. And so let's get into it, you guys. Let's talk about Thailand.
Woo!
Yay!
All right.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Sadi Khap. It's a real pleasure to be joining you. I'm actually in Thailand right now. I live here. I've been here 8 years. The sun is just about coming up over the mountains on the other side of the office. What time is it? It's 6:30, but I think 6:30 p.m. for you guys. But I'm really, really happy to join you and share my home, the land of smiles, and this great trip that we've put together. Myself and Rachel have been bouncing ideas back and forth since we had a great chat at the DEMA show last month. And we hope we've got a really nice itinerary planned for you. And as many of you as possible will join us on this trip to the land of smiles. So I'm going to cover a little bit today about what it's like getting to Thailand, some of the logistics, and then the itinerary that we have planned for you. So hopefully if I click through, this will work. Okay, so Thailand, for me, it's not just about the diving. This is the conversation I had with the guys at DEMA. It's really this destination where you've got amazing marine encounters, vibrant coral reefs, the chance to really see some shark action that has started to come back in this part of the world after many, many years of quite hard fishing, but now real great conservation efforts have brought shark life back to the waters of Thailand. Crystal clear, azure blue water, white beaches, really kind of paradise-like beaches when you step onto them. And I'll show you a few pictures later on in the presentation. But not only that, guys, you've got such rich culture and history in this place. The opportunity to go to some amazing cities, to see some amazing rainforest environments, the chance to go and see the elephants as well, the national animal of Thailand. And that's something we've lined up for you guys. But it's a real destination that offers a little bit of everything for every type of traveler. In terms of getting here to my home down in Phuket, which is where you'd fly into, so you don't have to fly into Bangkok. It's really easy for you guys, especially in Florida or anyone else who's perhaps kind of on the East Coast or anywhere near the major hubs of the States. you can actually fly into Thailand now one stop. So you have a little bit of a long flight, probably kind of 13 hours or so initially into the Middle East using one of the Middle Eastern airlines like Emirates, Etihad, or Qatar. And then it's around a 6-hour flight down into Phuket, a nice small airport, very small immigration, nothing crazy that you guys experience, kind of these big hubs in the US. So a relatively easy journey to get to this part of the world, despite some long flights. In terms of your visas, anyone with a US passport, or if anyone's holding a passport from ASEAN or a Western country, you will get a 30-day stamp on arrival. So there's no annoying kind of process of applying for a visa. The only thing you have to do before you come, around 3 days before, is just fill out a simple immigration form, just to let you know the flight details and where you're staying, but nothing to pay for it. So it's one less cost to worry about. The main currency here is the Thai baht. You can bring US dollar and exchange it on board our vessels and for tipping and things like this. If you want to use USD, you can. But I ask that you just bring kind of fresh, crisp notes rather than some old ones that might have been in your bag for a while. But the guys can sort you out there. Thai is the main language. I said Sadiqap in the beginning, which means hello. It's the really nice kind of formal greeting that you have here in Thailand. But pretty much in all the places where you guys will be visiting, there will be someone that will speak English, certainly on our boats. The main crew will speak English. You might have some of the old salty sea dogs of the boat who are incredibly experienced, don't have the best English, but they'll make sure that you're looked after on the boat. But yes, you will not have any problem communicating with everybody while you're here. In terms of temperatures, I think you guys are pretty much used to the weather that you'll have here in Thailand. It's a little bit cooler this time of year, so set temperatures are around 84 Fahrenheit. In an evening, they do get a little bit cooler, but then the water temperatures, you're looking around 82, maybe 85, 86, depending where we are and what the thermoclines are doing in the national park. But you'll be very comfortable, with light shirts, shorts, flip-flops, things like this. And then if you do feel the cold a little bit, then a 3mm wetsuit, a 3mm shorty. I personally dive in a rash vest and shorts for most of the dive sites. It's only when you get a little bit of depth that perhaps you might feel a little bit chilly on some of those dive sites. But all in all, very comfortable diving than perhaps you might experience in some parts of the States. So a bit of an overview of what the diving is like in Thailand. It's really one of the few destinations that we have where it caters from the very beginner diver all the way up to those who perhaps even have technical training or instructors. So even if you're fresh out of your open water, you've done your open water dives and then a few fun dives back home, so long as you have 10 dives and you're an open water diver, you are more than welcome to join us here in Thailand. There are some dive sites where you might have some current, but largely, we're picking dive times that are around the tides and things like this to reduce that impact on the diving. It's not places like the Maldives or perhaps Palau where you want the current to get the big shark action. It's not about that in Thailand. So we will try and make sure you've got nice and comfortable dives. But I promise you, the visibility is absolutely stunning. You might have one or two dives where you perhaps have a thermocline at 35 meters, 32 meters, but really you're not spending much, if any, time at those depths. But you should have really good visibility, 25 meters plus, crystal clear, very little things kind of particulate in the water, just really, really beautiful. All our dives will be with dive guides. We don't allow any solo diving, but for me, that's the best way in places that we offer. It's great to have that local knowledge of people who have been living and working in Thailand for a very long time. We have a mixture of a European cruise director and some local guys who are Thai and really do know their stuff. So that's a little bit of getting to Thailand, what the diving's like, a little bit about the climate. But what we've done is put together a land-based extension, because I mentioned that's one of the key things. It's not just about the diving. You've got to go and do some of the land activities as well. So I've actually done a lot of the things that we've organized for you guys, and I think they are a must-do for this part of the world. So we're focusing on southern Thailand. You've got the island of Phuket. I'll show you a map in a little bit. But just north of that, you have some of the best national parks in the entire country and some of the most spectacular views that you'll find in Thailand. So we have organized a 4-night, 5-day extension for you guys to do before your liveaboard to really get a flavor of the southern part of Thailand. You'll fly in to Phuket, bit of a long flight, feeling quite tired. We're going to take you straight to a beautiful resort. So this is a place called Phang Bay, which is the top right picture that you see there. We'll organize dinner for you. Everyone can have a few drinks, relax, go to bed. And I'm not going to lie, there will be jet lag at around 5, maybe 4 in the morning. If you're a little bit of a deep sleeper, perhaps 6. But you need to be waking up early to get the sunrises like that. They are some of the most spectacular sunrises you'll ever see in your life over this mangrove kind of estuary and these limestone massive cliffs that you see there. So that's why we thought, let's time this so you are waking up with the jet lag at the right time to get the beautiful sunrise over Phang Bay. We'll then organize a real traditional longtail boat experience, which is in the bottom right-hand side. You see these longtails. You'll be zooming along. There'll be a little bit noisy kind of truck engines that are bolted on the back of a wooden boat, but you're going to go to James Bond Island. If anyone is a James Bond fan, you'll recognize that picture, and it's the place where Scaramanga and James Bond had their duel and he disappeared. The Man with the Golden Gun, that's it. That's the film. But you'll get a chance to visit that. And then a floating village. This is a village that has kind of grown over time, is the middle picture there. And we'll go and have some delicious local food, kind of southern curries, which is a mixture of seafood and chicken and vegetables and things like this. We've got vegan and vegetarian options, of course, which we can organize. And quite interestingly enough, if you like what I'm going to say is football, I'm British, so I guess for you guys, soccer. This is the only permanent floating football pitch in the entire world. And this is a football team. They travel around Thailand and they've done pretty well in the local leagues, despite having a really small little football pitch or soccer pitch, floating in the middle of this bay. So a real great couple of, or first day and so, or first 2 days around Phang Bay to experience some exciting things. Then this really, for me, is probably the most exciting part of it. You can see me in the top right-hand side there with a beautiful old elephant. We're going to take you up north of Phuket to a place called Khao Sok National Park. And this is actually one of the oldest rainforests in Thailand. It's absolutely beautiful. You're getting slightly higher elevation. So in the daytime, it can be a little bit humid and hot, but in the evenings you get this really nice cooler air that starts to come through as the clouds kind of settle. But we've organized some accommodation for you that is a jungle type treehouse experience. And this will be all air conditioning. We've then organized the opportunity for you guys to go and stay on one of the biggest lakes that we have here in Thailand on a floating bungalow. And here you'll really have the chance to have a digital detox. So no Facebook, no TikTok. Of course, there is ways to emergency get help if needed. But that's one night on this beautiful, flat, calm lake. And you'll have kind of scenes that you see on the bottom right-hand side. But then we are making sure that you have that signature experience with the elephants here in Thailand. I've done many elephant experiences here. I always try to go to the ethical places, and the location we've organized for you is the best, most ethical elephant sanctuary I've been to throughout my entire 8 years here in Thailand. You'll get the chance to walk with the elephants. You'll get the chance to prepare food with them, to cover them in mud while you get simultaneously sprayed in mud while they're kind of spraying themselves with their trunks. But there's no riding the elephant. There's no stick with a nail on the end to control it. And I can't guarantee that you will get to go in the river with the elephant. The elephant will only go in the river if the elephant wants to go in the river. So when I was there, we had to wait kind of 30 minutes or so for this big, beautiful lady to make her way down to the river and eventually get in and allow us to give her a scrub. And that for me was just the most important bit. These are elephants that have been, in logging camps. They've been in big tourist traps riding person after person after person, but now they can do what they want. They can come and have their food. They eat lots of bananas. They eat sugar cane and various other bits, and they can go and have a little rinse in the river. But it's a special, special moment. And then we do some exciting things like we will do some cooking in the jungle with bamboo, a very traditional way. You see in that picture there, we are steaming food within these bamboo kind of stalks, and we'll have rice in there, vegetables, and then those who can eat meat skewers as well. Just a nice way to see how, kind of 15, not even 50 years ago, 30 years ago, people were living, kind of cooking their own food on an open fire in these parts of Thailand. But a real experience that is ticking off the main highlights of southern Thailand before we head over to join our liveaboard diving the Andaman Sea. So you've done your tour. I don't know. I'm hoping you guys can see my mouse here, but you will be flying into Phuket here, which is the island. Interestingly enough, the little logo here is near our office. The airport is on the northern part of the island. Then this area around here, you can't quite see all the limestone islands, but this is Phang Bay, where you will get the beautiful sunrises, James Bond Island, and the floating villages. And then we head up to a place near Surat Thani, where you can see the lakes here. This is the jungle kind of mountainous area where you'll do your elephant experience and then staying on the bungalows on the lake overnight. Once that's done, we are heading back down here to the first little trident here. And this is where you're going to begin your 8-night Best of Thailand liveaboard. We'll be making our way a little bit north here to kind of the northernmost part of the Thailand part of the Andaman Sea, to the Similan Islands, Surin Islands, Ritulu Rock, and various other highlights, and then make our way down the islands, have a nice kind of afternoon, evening cruise, a little bit of a chance for you guys to off-gas, relax and eat some delicious food. And then we head down to Phi Phi, which some of you guys may have heard of. We will get a trip organized to the beach. I don't know if anyone's seen the film The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio in it, but we will give you guys a chance to go and visit that. And then we head further down south to the southern highlights, almost getting actually into Malaysia. Malaysia's kind of on the bottom right side here. So really you are getting all of the best dive sites in Thailand done on an 8-night trip. There will be a little bit of cruising, but we try and minimize the number of overnight sailings that we do to make sure that you guys can have a good night's sleep after a good day's diving. So a little bit on the highlights. Not sure if some of you guys have been to Thailand already and done the diving in Thailand, but if you've not done a liveaboard, but you have been here, you most likely will have been to the Similan Islands National Park. This is one of the first marine national parks that was founded in Thailand in 1982. It's a series of 9 islands from the north to the south. We can't dive all of those islands because some of them are blocked off for conservation efforts. Some of them season by season change. So one season an island opens, then the next season it closes just to allow or to reduce that impact of tourism. But you have these beautiful granite islands that are protruding out of the Andaman Ocean that really create this topography underwater, which is spectacular. You have swim-throughs, you have soft coral, hard coral, tons of macro action, schooling fish like you see on the top right. Lots and lots of glassfish as well, which is, since I was there at the April this year, I was diving, I was blown away by the amount of glassfish that we saw on every single dive while in the Similan Islands. And this is, of course, a sign of really strong biodiversity, having those juvenile fish starting to come through. But it's a very, very special place, and it is picture perfect. Look at that picture on the bottom right-hand side. That's the boat you guys will be on. She's a beauty. White beaches, blue waters, and plenty of opportunities to get you guys on land to some great viewpoints and enjoy these islands when some of the day boats have gone as well. You know, you will have some of these beaches to yourself. But yes, one or two opportunities which we'll organize for you guys to go on land and enjoy the land side of the islands. Koh Ha National Park. If you like a little bit of a Thai lesson, Koh means island in Thai, and then Ha means the number 5. So this is 5 islands. So these are pinnacle and wall dives. Really huge Gorgonian sea fans that you'll find on this dive site. Lots of critters, not too many sharks around here, but just really pristine diving. And for me, I become a little kid when I go to places like Koh Ha because you can be doing swim throughs. It's not like you're in a cave environment or cavern environment, but when you have these big limestone formations, the
Hey, everybody. We're not sure what happened. Something happened to the guest presenter. He got kicked off. Can you hear us? Well, can you guys hear us? All right. I think we've got Alex back in.
I'm back.
Sorry about that. I don't know what
It went
happened.
blue. Hi, everyone. Sorry. Hopefully I wasn't too boring or talking too much, and maybe the system said
No,
stop.
no clue what happened. All right, let me get you back on here with your. Go ahead and speak share.
Window. Great. Hopefully you guys can see this any second.
Hi, Rachel.
I'm back. Hey.
There you go. All right.
Can you guys hear me and see that?
Yeah, well,
good.
Glad to be back. By the way, just not even halfway through your presentation, I don't think, and I am so excited for this trip. I
Good.
cannot wait to go to Thailand.
Good. Good. Do you know what? I think I might have to join you guys. So long as I haven't gone back home for Christmas, I might have to do a sneaky go and sleep in the crew quarters and join it. You know.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, we're back on. Let me get the PowerPoint back on. Sorry about that.
Okay. Bye.
Sure. Did you guys hear this part where I was telling you the 5 islands and the swim throughs being like a little little kid underwater? Not sure whether I did, but this is one of my favorite dive sites around here.
That's where you're about to stay.
Good. Okay, so I'll skip on to the next part then. As we are heading further south on the trip, we also go to 2 amazing pinnacles called Hinh Deng and Hin Muang. And again, a little bit of a Thai lesson. There's a theme going on here. Deng means red and Hin means rock. And then you've got Hin, rock, and then Muang, which is purple. And when we say red rock and purple rock, we really mean this. So when you are diving these pinnacles, you have the first one, Hin Deng, is covered in amazing soft red coral. I don't know the scientific name of the exact species, but the rock does look red. Then purple rock does look purple. And as you can see here, you kind of have the purple soft coral on that top right picture. But this is the best opportunity for you to get manta ray encounters. So of all the dive sites, this is where the mantas could be turning up. And for December, when you guys are heading out, that's just at the start of the season. But we had a did we have a manta on the last trip? I think we did on the last trip. And we also had a whale shark at Richelieu Rock. So they are around, not in their massive numbers like places like the Maldives, but every opportunity for them to just turn up as you're kind of cruising on the upper parts of the reef. And they are at one of their kind of cleaning, feeding stations. So yeah, really exciting diving in this part. But the real signature dive site of this trip is Richelieu Rock. This is probably the best known dive site. And the way I describe this, it is like a little bit of Tubataha National Park. It's a little bit of Raja Ampat. It's a little bit of Komodo squeezed together, plus the best of Thailand, and dropped on one horseshoe-shaped pinnacle at the northern part of the Andaman Sea where we dive. And this dive, we will try and spend as much time as possible here. It's something we've been speaking to Rachel about. It can get a little bit busy with other boats because it is that good, but there is so much to see. I have never done a dive there without having cuttlefish, which are huge, mating cuttlefish that look at you and kind of talk to you with their tentacles. You're playing with them. Really, really special, covered in glassfish. You will have seahorses there. You'll have giant trevally. You'll have hunting fish. You'll have schools of barracuda. You'll have whale sharks. I mean, one season, I think it was last season, almost every single trip we were at Richelieu, at some point, there was a whale shark that came cruising by. It seems to be this perfect pinnacle that is in the perfect ocean currents to get the best kind of mixture of nutrients, water flow, depth, temperature, everything to give you some of the most diverse marine life that you'll see on the entire trip. It is very, very special. But my true highlight, and I don't know if you guys know much about the Harlequin shrimps, is that there is a resident couple of Harlequin shrimps. And these are these beautiful little funky shrimps. And I should have put a picture because they are my favorite. But they basically walk up with their massive claws, go to a starfish, chop off the starfish's leg, pull it all the way back to their home, and eat the starfish leg. That is literally how they survive. They are just going around abusing starfish around Richelieu Rock. So it's quite fun to see them with their little starfish leg in their home. But the guides will definitely point that out to you. So you've done the diving, some of the highlights. Of course, there's plenty more dive sites that you will do on the trip, but for those are the highlights for me. But you are going to be on this big, beautiful boat. She's a Pinisi liveaboard, originally built in Indonesia with ironwood, some of the hardest wood that you can find in the world. She's a real signature liveaboard here in Thailand. And I am being biased because she's part of my company, but before I worked for Master Liveaboards, I had also done other liveaboards as a backpacker and kind of as a more, I guess, seasoned traveler. And I promise you, you will not find a better, more hardworking crew or a better chef on any of the liveaboards. We have Chef B, and I promise you, she'll make sure you've put on at least a few, well, I say a few pounds, it's probably going to be far more than a few pounds with her delicious Thai food. She also makes great kind of vegetarian sushi rolls as well, which are incredible. But you will not end this trip having lost any weight. I'm sorry to tell you that, but I feel it's like an added part of the package. You get something extra for joining us here in Thailand. But it's an amazing vessel. She holds 18 divers. She's around 34 meters, really handles herself well in the waters of Thailand. In terms of the weather this time of year, I'm looking out. It's beautiful blue skies. Now the sun's come up. It will be flat calm. It really will be. You will have some times where perhaps there would be a little bit of chop as we move down to the south. But the winds have changed direction now, and the national parks have been open for nearly 2 months. So it is really good weather. But she has plenty of space on the top deck here. I'm hoping you guys can see my mouse. With bean bags for chilling out. It's shaded as well. We then have the dive deck here, which also has seats in the middle so you can enjoy the views. But all of our dining is done on the stern of the vessel in kind of a U-shape environment. And this is buffet style, and you have great views of the Andaman while you're having dinner. We do our briefings there. We have our breakfast station there as well, but very, very comfortable for sure. So just some kind of the interior pictures to give you an idea of what she looks like. On the top left-hand side, you have the dining area, so very communal. It's great for you guys to discuss how your diving is going. Great to talk to one another, enjoy each other's company. We have the saloon kind of area. It's a smaller saloon than perhaps other boats because really it's nice for you guys to be out in the environment and looking at the ocean instead of being locked inside. But if anybody wants to recline and sleep in these areas, absolutely more than welcome. But for me, my favorite part is being up on the top deck area with the local guides who think they are good singers. They are good guitarists, but perhaps not the best singers in the world. But they will, yes, enjoy looking after you. So the cabins, we have a mixture of twin and double cabins. We do also have some quads. But we are making sure those are twin cabins for you guys. So that's something we've spoken to Rachel about as well. But all in all, a really good vessel compared to some of the vessels you get out here in Thailand, which I think, Nicole, you were saying that we've been on some here, particularly out in Phi Phi. They are very backpacker-like. So you're having a little bit more nice, luxurious experience here on Thailand Master. So what's included then? We've got all your transfers organized. This is kind of more of the liverboard side of things, just to give you an idea of that inclusive part. It's full board accommodation when you are on the liverboard. So you're getting your breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, fresh fruit. Like I said, you are not going to go hungry. Soft drinks are included, tea, coffee, water. We'll be doing 4 dives per day. So it's kind of an early morning wake-up call, 6 a.m. Ding, 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 ding. The boat bell goes. We'll have the small breakfast, which is some toast, some nuts, some granola, things like that. Go for your dive, then come up and have your big breakfast, which will be the usual suspect bacon, hash browns, some local food as well. Do another dive, lunch, then have snacks, and then another kind of evening sunset, maybe a night dive. We do quite like to do the sunset dives, particularly at Richelieu Rock, because that's when you get the turn in behavior and the schools of, the hunting fish coming out, darting past you, and kind of a racetrack experience of these fish flying past you. We'll include Ali 80s with everybody. Air is included, weight, wet boat, SMB, and it is a requirement for everybody to have an SMB on the trip for safety on all of our vessels, in fact. Some of the things that we really insist that you do have, and it is mandatory, is that we ask that everybody has diving insurance. It's really important. There are chambers in Phuket. We have 2 chambers here on the island. It is about a 2-hour journey to get you from 2 hour, a little bit longer, 2.5, 3 hours, depending on where we are, to get you into a chamber. And these are in the private hospitals here in Thailand. So please make sure you have appropriate insurance, whether that be DAN, DiverSure, or any other travel insurance provider. But then travel insurance is key as well. Your guys are coming to the other side of the world. You are doing some land activities. There might be slips, trips, falls. You need to make sure that you have the most appropriate travel insurance for the activities that you're doing. And then in terms of the park fees, it's $100 for the Similan and Soaring Island National Park fees. We will need a copy of your passport, guys, to get you kind of the entrance into the island. We booked this in advance because they've limited the number of guests that can go into the park. But we've got all the contacts to make sure there are no problems there. So some of the extra costs, if you're wanting to do any other transfers, other places, alcoholic drinks, sodas are included. Please ignore that. Laundry on board, we can do it. I know this is a bit of a longer trip, so we can do the laundry. Hopefully not an entire suitcase worth of laundry, but if you've got a few bits need washing, absolutely fine. Nitrox is extra. That's around $245 for the 8-night trip. And then if you do choose to tip the crew for their hard work in looking after you, then that's entirely up to you. We do, of course, have equipment rental and courses, but, I strongly recommend that you speak to Rachel and the guys at the dive shop. It's a great opportunity if you want to do any courses on board with those guys. or rent any equipment from the shop and bring it here, more than welcome to do so. But a great opportunity. And that is it. I really hope I've given you guys an overview of what my home is like, how good the diving is, the exciting itinerary that we put together for you, and more than happy to answer any questions that you guys may have.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, Alex.
No problem.
I mean, I don't get to go on this trip, so now I'm bummed, but
That's not fair.
I know. But Rachel, man, this sounds amazing.
I am so stoked, and your presentation was really awesome. And we
Thank you,
actually,
guys.
now that I'm thinking about it, I already have a few people on the trip. I want to say
Great.
we have 8 spots left at the moment.
Yeah,
If we're sticking with the 14, we couldn't wait until the end to see if anybody wants to share a room, like as a triple instead, to add more people.
sure.
But for now,
Yeah,
we'll keep it at the 8 spots left. So if you do want to join this awesome trip, please reach out to us, and then we can talk about getting a roommate, or if you have your someone that wants to dive with you. I will say I've already made my flyer for the trip and have spoken to a lot of people, but you were saying that the fizzy drinks actually are included, because I put no. And what is the charge you said for laundry, or is that that's going to be?
Uh,
You think?
charge me 2 seconds. I can tell you exactly. Or well,
It's
I
okay if
say.
it's just a little bit extra. I just wasn't sure if that was like a.
To be honest, the guys, if it's a few t-shirts and things, they'll just throw it in. So it'll be dollars, couple of dollars, not tens of dollars. Put it that way. Yeah.
And on the land package, there's like 1 or 2 meals that aren't going to be included, because they're going to let us like kind of go to the markets and stuff and pick out what we want. But other than that, everything will be included. And the date for the on the flyer, it actually will start on the 9th. And then the
Yeah.
liveaboard would start on the 13th. So we have a little bit of a front loaded land package, which I am very excited about. Thank you so much, Alex, for
My
tailoring
pleasure.
everything that I wanted to do and everything that I think all the guests will love. So I think this is going to be a really, really great trip.
For sure. For sure.
So, Rahel and Rachel, so it's December 9th through the 21st is the
Yeah.
date? Okay.
Yeah, because the land package is before.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that I got that right.
The date's up on the chat right now. That's just for the liveaboard.
Yeah.
Cool. And I already am like pretty confident the people that have already signed up and some of the people that I've spoken to, we have a really great group going, people that are really awesome and have been on a lot of trips with us before. So I think we have a great group of people.
Sounds really good, guys. I will for sure come and at least meet you guys somewhere, and if we have time, try and take you to some of my favorite restaurants down here in Phuket as well.
I see somebody asked, can the diving portion be separated from the land package? We could talk about it. You can send me an email and we could talk about that.
And then just a few people wanted to know, just again, you went over like the diving conditions, but during that specific time, what do you think about the water temperature during that time?
So you might have to translate this for me, but kind of 29, 30 degrees Celsius. So what's that in Celsius to Fahrenheit? You'd be looking 86, 80, 84 is what I'd be looking
Very
at.
warm.
It's warm, guys. I promise you. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt when I do this. You may, at the similars are quite well known for. We call it the green monster. When you get to kind of 35, to be honest, you don't really need to be at those depths. You don't need to be doing it. You have this tongue of kind of green water, which is the thermocline, and you dip down into it, and you're like, oh no, that's far too cold. I'm coming a little bit higher. That's the only time you might feel like you need a wetsuit, but very pleasant is how I would describe it here in terms
And
of water temperature.
what about the weather as far as, is there rainy time of the year? Is it going to be
Typhoon
drier?
season, something like that.
So I had the first rain last night because I left my helmet on my bike and it was wet this morning. But we, for the last couple of weeks, we haven't had any rain. It's been beautiful. In October, the weather, or kind of late October, November, the weather switches almost overnight, and we get very, very little rain. It's, we're not a million miles away from the equator, so I'm not going to say no rain. But if we do get it at this time of year, it's that evening thunderstorm after the humidity's kind of risen throughout the day. It'll pour and then stop, and that the same thing might happen in the evening. But you will be in the rainforest side of it, so it's a rainforest. That's the name. It kind of suggests there might be some rain while you're there, but nothing that is going to impact your trip, guys. And to be honest, it's warm. It's warm rain. You might appreciate a little bit of a downpour, just to take the edge off the heat.
Okay. And then there's another question that came in about some animal sightings. Is there certain times of the year that you'll see, like maybe jellyfish blooms or maybe like a spawning? Is that that time?
So you do get in places like Pangar Bay, you sometimes get the jellyfish blooms that happen, but the only ones that I've really experienced are the jellyfish that don't sting, and you have fishermen who go and kind of chuck them out of the water and sell them to the local restaurants. So no, I've not had anything that impacts the diving side of it. You just might see them. I can't remember the species, but they're kind of like these barrel jellyfish that sometimes bloom, but you tend to find them more in Pangar Bay. You might get them in the Similans, but nothing that's going to stop us diving or potentially mean that people are getting stung.
Okay. Can I ask, because we got a lot of people who are going to be photographers on this trip.
Yeah.
You guys have a camera station area. Do you guys allow for like the charging to happen there, or do we do it in our cabins? How does that work?
So absolutely not in the cabins. So if you're charging anything significant in the cabins, we ask that you do it in the saloon area. We've got kind of a designated place there, and then some kind of non-burning mats. So if anything went wrong, it's not going to burn a hole into the cabinets there. If you are in your cabin and you're charging your phone, absolutely fine. But if you're not, unplug everything. The guys are not trying to intrude on privacy, but when you guys go diving, they will do a quick check around the rooms and unplug anything that anyone's forgotten for safety. This is a really important thing for us, so please don't be alarmed if someone has gone into your cabin to check that. But yeah, absolutely, guys. Photographers are absolutely fine. The crew are really good at making sure there's enough space for you to have your big, weird and wonderful units with arms everywhere. In the saloon area, kind of saw the red mats. Sometimes we kind of put the towels out there if there's quite a few people with their big cameras, so you've got more space to work. We'll also have the air gun as well, for you to be drying off attached to a cylinder. And the crew are really great at delicately handling big units and carrying them from your dive station and passing them down into the Zodiac and then passing it down once you're in the water. So yeah, absolutely fine, guys. If 18 people are bringing, then maybe it's a different conversation, but generally we find 5 or 6 people bring the really big setups, and we can absolutely handle that, no problem.
Awesome.
Excellent. Rachel, anything else that you had questions about? Since you're the one on the trip, you stinker.
No, I'm just so excited for this trip.
It's going to be really good, guys. I promise it. You will not find a better crew here, and I can send some bits on TripAdvisor as well, so you can share reviews with people. It's going to be a real good one.
Excellent. All right. And like we said, guys, go ahead and you can send us an email to info@force-e.com. You can also call Rachel over at the Boynton Beach location. She works there during the week and Saturdays, that you can talk to her about booking this trip. Or like I said, email and we can help you get booked as well. And Alex, Kampuka, did I say it right?
Cop and Cap? Yeah, you did. You said the female version at least.
Okay,
That was all right.
Yeah, I went to
Because you have to
Thailand.
practice your study hap.
Oh, so sorry.
Study
I
hap.
went to Thailand a really long time ago, and that's the only thing I remember.
It was a good effort. A good effort.
All
I'll
right.
send some Thai words for you guys to learn before you come.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, thank you again for a wonderful presentation. We're really
Thank you for
looking
having me.
forward. Yes, thank you. And everybody, thanks for watching and get signed up to go to Thailand with us. Happy holidays, everyone. See
Happy
ya.
holidays, guys. Thank you.
Okay, we are offline.